All right, kiddos, this is gonna be a third time. Okay, so you want to know how to make a productivity system, right? Oh god. So, like, I feel the very first issue I have to like overcome, or at least like a problem that I kind of like went through, is that like you feel like it's supposed to be like very complex, right? You're supposed to have like bullet journals, you have to have habit trackers, you have to have like, I don't know, all these like very like complex things, right? Like things where it's like, oh man, is this normal? Should I make it like more complex, right? Or like I have to have all these things, right? But like something I learned about like productivity is that it's supposed to be like super simple, right? Like you have to have like a system in which like it is like so like fundamental in the sense that like you cannot go wrong with it, right? Like if there are too many like tags or bells and whistles, right? You'll just get lost in it, right? So um something I discovered is that like it is really that simple, right? Like what I learned is that all a productivity system is just notes or managing information or what you call to-do lists, tasks. So yeah. So like this is literally all it is. You see that? Oh wait. Yeah. Guys, just takes up the entire screen for me. Yeah. You see that? Yeah. So you see that? Like that's all it is. Really? Because like I don't know, if you think about it as like calendars, think about like projects, you think about what you call actual lists and stuff like that. Like habits even too, like if they're like recurring tasks in a sense, you can think about it in that way. You got like notes, right? Notes are like PDFs, they're spreadsheets, they're photos, images, project files, text documents, actual notes, right? Or drawings too. Yeah, like I don't know. There's always like this fills up the bucket, right? Like that's what it is, right? I don't know, like is that not amazing to think about? Like this is all it is, you know? In the same way that like how people like think about things is that like there are things in our heads, right, that need to be delegated, right? You don't know how it works, right? Like before, prior to like knowing this, is that like I was like really confused about like is this something to keep in my mind, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, you would always have like different ideas, right? But you don't know how to sort them. But like this is the dichotomy in which you kind of like should think about things, is that they're either notes or tasks, like as simple as that. um Something to even like keep in mind is that like actually it's not a binary necessarily, it's more so a like spectrum of sorts, right? So like, so if you like even consider about that, is that like projects actually sit in the right in the middle, because like when you think about like, okay, so like having my background is that like I'm an artist, right? I'm a creative, like I make videos, I'm making art, animations and stuff like that. And then like you think about it, like I'm trying to make like mood boards, I'm trying to think of like script ideas, I'm trying to think about what you call like outlines for videos, right? And so like projects actually like fall in the center of like where tasks exist and then where notes exist, you know? And so like I don't know, I think you could probably like kind of put things somewhere along the lines about like where things like belong, but like generally like what I known is that projects sit like in the center of this, you know? And so yeah, like you don't need to have anything more complicated than that, you know? So how I came to this conclusion was that like I was like watching a Matt Diavella video, right? Like under my like preconception that like, oh, it has to be complex, right? But like he broke it down into saying that like, okay, productivity system is like essentially like your so to-do list, notes, calendar, and file system, right? But like as a person who like didn't really like mess with media that much, I just like delegated only to like notes and to-do lists, because like that's all they are. But then like I combined the calendar alongside with to-do lists, and I combined file systems with note-taking app, right? And so yeah, like you could just compile those together. Like I don't know, if you really wanted to like do it, is that like you could just have a to-do list, right, and a file system, and like that's all you would have to do, right? So like for my productivity system, right, I use Discord, And then for projects, I use Notion. And then for to-do list, I just use Todoist. So yeah, I know it might sound weird, like, oh, why Discord? But like, again, as an artist, like I feel like I need to like always collect things from like YouTube Shorts, or like there's like pictures I really like about like the outside world, and like I gotta collect them, or like ideas like pop up in my head, and it's like, oh yeah, I gotta collect those, right? And so that's why I have Discords that's like really good at like capturing what I want. So yeah. And then Notion is like really good at like, I don't know, making tables, right? And like moving around things. So I find that like very useful. This can also like go for like pages that want to be like more permanent, right? So that's why I have that there. For my to-do list, I just use what's called Todoist. I kind of like this one because it has like priorities, right? It's like from like red, yellow, blue, and then like no color or default, you know? And that's just enough for me to like actually care about things. And like there's even like recurring tasks. So like if I have like to do trash like on Wednesday, like for my case, right? I can just like have a recurring task for Wednesday, and like I don't know, that's how it works for me. But yeah, like that's all. That's all a productivity system is for me. It's just like I don't know. It's really easy. Oh no, it's going no terrible. Absolutely blind me. My computer's out. Yes, once again. Hello, hello. Yeah, once again, I have to charge my battery. I think next time I'm gonna have to like buy a new battery pack so that I can just like um load more. You know, I'll just put that on my to-do list. Where's my phone? Phone. I'm using my phone right now. Well, I guess I'll think about it back again. Anyways, yeah, so generally like if you really want to just like make a productivity system, just like make it very simple. Make sure it works for you, right? Clearly, like even on your laziest days, it should be like easy for you to use. And like even like another point that I want to say is that like I was watching this like one Ryan Holiday video in talking about like productivity, and he said that like, oh, you know, people back then, right, they were prolific, right? You don't need like any like cool digital system in which like it's like, oh wow, this is like it opens up to the entire world. But I mean like obviously like I think it is advised, it's recommended, you know, like yeah. But yeah, if people back then could like make a productivity system and simple, right? Like, why can't you, right? So, I think that's that, and yeah, I think that's all, honestly. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Deuces.